Hello, friends. Have you ever wondered how the Renaissance, known for art, science, and literature, also transformed the brutal world of warfare? While we often think of the Renaissance as a time of beauty and learning, it was also an era when battles were fought with new strategies, weapons, and ideas. The Renaissance wasn't just a cultural awakening, it reshaped the very nature of war. Before the Renaissance, battles were dominated by heavily armored knights charging on horseback and castles that seemed impossible to conquer. But as the Renaissance unfolded, old methods gave way to modern tactics. Gunpowder, first brought to Europe from China, began to change everything. Suddenly, cannons roared on battlefields, and no castle wall could guarantee safety. Imagine the shock of noble lords watching their mighty fortresses crumble under the power of these new weapons. One of the most influential thinkers of this time was Niccolo Machiavelli, whose book, The Art of War, wasn't just about winning battles. It was about how power should be maintained. Machiavelli believed that a strong army was the backbone of a stable state. He famously argued that it was better for a ruler to be feared than loved if he could not be both. His ideas weren't just theories, they reflected the ruthless realities of Renaissance politics, where war and diplomacy went hand in hand. But war wasn't just about philosophy, it was also about practical changes on the battlefield. The introduction of gunpowder led to new formations and strategies. Traditional knights in shining armor became vulnerable to musketeers armed with firearms. Infantry, once seen as the weaker force, gained prominence. Soldiers now fought in disciplined formations, using pikes and muskets together, creating deadly combinations that could break cavalry charges. The Renaissance also brought new thinking to fortifications. As cannons grew more powerful, old medieval castles became easy targets. In response, military engineers designed star forts with angled walls that could better absorb cannon fire and provide overlapping fields of gunfire. These forts became the new standard in Europe, turning cities into almost impenetrable strongholds. Warfare also took to the seas. The age of exploration that the Renaissance inspired led to fierce naval battles. Nations like Spain and Portugal built powerful fleets, not just for trade, but for conquest and defense. Ships were now armed with cannons, making naval power essential. Battles weren't confined to European soil. Conflicts spread across oceans, turning war into a truly global affair. What's fascinating is how Renaissance warfare blurred the lines between art and destruction. Armorers crafted suits of armor that were not only functional, but beautifully decorated. Weapons like swords and pistols were inlaid with gold and silver, becoming symbols of status and craftsmanship. Even in war, the Renaissance desire for beauty and perfection shone through. But war also had a darker side. The human cost of these new weapons and tactics was immense. Sieges lasted longer, battles became deadlier, and civilian populations often suffered the most. As kingdoms fought for power and influence, the Renaissance world became a place of both remarkable progress and deep conflict. Yet all these changes in warfare weren't confined to Italy or a single region. The ideas of Machiavelli, the designs of star forts, and the tactics of musketeers spread far and wide. Battles were fought from the plains of France to the hills of Spain and beyond. Renaissance warfare laid the groundwork for modern military strategy, where discipline, innovation, and adaptability became key. The Renaissance taught that power wasn't just held by those with the largest armies, but by those who could think, adapt, and innovate. War had become an art, planned with precision, fought with intelligence, and influenced by ideas as much as by weapons. And speaking of ideas traveling far and wide, have you ever wondered how the brilliance of the Renaissance, its art, science, and yes, even its warfare, spread beyond the borders of Italy? Well, that's a journey we'll be embarking on next time. So, stay with me as we explore how Renaissance ideas crossed borders, shaping cultures and histories far beyond Italy. See you in the next episode.